Hey guys, Bethany here. Welcome back to my channel. And today I have a special guest.
She let me come on her channel.
This is my husband, John, for those of you who don't know. And this is Frankie. He's probably not going to be here for long. He's going to have to go on, Frankie. So today we're going to talk about us as newlyweds, how we were broke, struggling, and newly married.
Yes.
At the end of this, we're each going to give our top 2 marriage advice.
I will give one to the husbands and one to the wives.
And I will do the same. So be sure to stick around for that. But if you haven't yet done so, be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. John will always be on my channel, but you might see him occasionally because it seems like a lot of people.
Leave a comment who you want more of. Bethany?
Hey, that's...
Or me?
So we got married in 2011. So we've been married almost 10 years.
10 years in April.
Well, so first, we real quick, we met in college. We went to Azusa Pacific University. John was playing football there. He was kind of okay at it. Just kidding. That's for another story. But I was an athletic training major, and so I was working in the football training room, and we met, and the rest was history.
Yeah, so April of 2011, we got married, and we were broke. We had no money. Backing up just a couple of minutes, or a couple of years, I thought I was going to make it big. First, I thought I was going into the NFL, but apparently I'm too slow.
I told you he was kind of good.
I was too slow, Buffalo Bills. And then second, I worked for this company called FromTheFarm.com, had an awesome boss, worked with my dad. My dad was my boss, but kind of. Anyway, different guy. He was cool. So worked for an online company. It was a startup company, but it was during 2008. So it was when the market crashed. Just good company, wrong timing. Basically the worst timing. So both times I thought I was going to make tons of money. Didn't happen. So I got laid off actually 2 months before we got married. The plan was to move up to like NorCal and live, I don't know, in the middle of the Central Valley. Nothing here. So I got laid off like, you know what? Forget this. Let's live at the beach. So
we lived in Oceanside. My parents lived in Oceanside at the time. I moved back there after graduating college with the plans to move to NorCal after getting married. But that changed. So John ended up moving down there because if you're unemployed, you might as well live at the beach. And he figured like, well, I'll just look for a job down there.
So we lived a mile from the beach, which was pretty cool. But we had a 1-bedroom apartment. It was tiny.
Yep.
So how did we do it? You worked at that place. What was it called?
Carl Strauss. So I worked at Carl Strauss. It was a brewery and a restaurant. And it was attached to a hotel. And next to it was a golf course. And it was just
that's where
beautiful.
I worked.
You did not work there.
Yes, I did. Technically, I was working on my golf game every day after I would drop you off for work.
So we had one car. We shared a car. So John while he was looking for work, he apparently worked at a golf course while collecting unemployment. He worked on his golf game.
And that course had an amazing practice facility. Side note, later in the year, I did shoot my best round ever, even par from the tips at the reserve in Stockton.
Didn't you get a hole-in-one there?
Yeah, but that was at a different...
Yeah, so then he, I think, had quick dreams to be a professional golfer.
Yeah, but again, I was terrible. Didn't work.
Too slow.
So, but really what it was I was unemployed and she served. So we did not make that much money. We had a nice little 1-bedroom apartment, but we were newlyweds and we still had so much fun. At least I did. Did you?
Yes, I have some of the most, like looking back now, just the simplicity of it. I miss those days.
So we had no money, but what's some of the stuff we did? Like I remember we didn't have a couch yet, so we set a blanket up against the wall to sit on, and we'd get food, and then we'd turn on Netflix and watch The Office together and eat our dinners and hang out. And I still, I can vividly remember doing that.
Yeah, we would cook dinner together. I would get off work if I didn't work nights. We would cook dinner together, and seriously, we couldn't afford a couch, and we had plans to buy one, but we just would pile up blankets and hang out in the living room. And
and then we did that. We mooched off our friends.
Yeah. We had good friends that I worked with and just friends down there that would invite us over for dinner. We're like, yes,
and every
free
time
dinner.
every time they invited, we're like, oh, yeah, for sure. We'll be there. Need us to bring anything? No? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll be there.
Oh, man. So we did that a lot.
Thanks, Rob.
Fortunately, at the beach, there's always something to do, especially down there in Oceanside. There's always live music, obviously the beach, and the weather's always beautiful down there. So we had a scooter, like Vespa.
So I had this little Vespa, and this is actually before I had a smartphone. I still had the flip phone, and I texted my buddy Sean, and I said, Sean, I need you to write me directions from Azusa to Oceanside. It took me 5 hours riding on a Vespa straight up like Dumb and Dumber, but it was warm, not cold. And I rode that thing down freeways and back roads. He wrote me out a full page. Oh, yeah. Not like freeway, but like back road highways, you know?
Gosh.
Speed limit still 65, and I'm like, So Sean wrote me out a full page of directions. I got lost like 3 times. He missed a step. Thanks, Sean.
I think I have a picture of you on that scooter.
Yeah.
He looked like Dumb and Dumber. He was so big on it. It was
big old goofy
fun.
White helmet.
John, has all 10 years of marriage always been so blissful?
What's the right answer? Yes. Okay, yes. Yeah. So, added on top of being broke and just, I don't know, playing golf, we got gifted for our wedding tickets to Stagecoach.
By one of my best friends.
Like huge country western concert, and we were stoked. So, we're there. We've only been married a month. We're back at the trailer by ourselves.
Sure. It was nighttime.
1 month later, we find out we're pregnant with our son, Jack. Yep, Jack was a trailer country Stagecoach baby.
It was a big surprise. So we weren't expecting it. I was on birth control. He's the biggest blessing in our life. Like, I always had my 2-year plan. We were going to have great jobs. We were going to buy a house. And then we were going to have kids. I always wanted to be a mom. And God just had
I still remember I was sitting on the couch and we're getting ready to go out to dinner. And she comes out and she's like, holding the positive pregnancy test. I saw, I was like, oh, I did it. My boys can swim. I'm going to be a father.
Oh.
Seinfeld. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that added on top of all of it. And we say all that, like all that stuff was happening.
Our life just did not go as planned, as we planned in the early stages of marriage.
Yeah.
And it's for the best.
But we still had a lot of fun. We still made it through. Everything was good. And so all that to say, we both were like, just embrace the honeymoon stage. Because you don't know when it's ever going to end. And it could never end. Like, I don't know, but just embrace it. Have fun.
Yeah.
Go to live music. Do cheap stuff. Go with your friends. And just have fun with each other. You guys are married and enjoy each other, so.
Yep. The simplicity of life. Because it gets crazy once you have kids.
Yeah.
And then if you have 5, it gets really crazy.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
All right. What is your number one marriage tip for wives?
For the wives, I think it's really important to find how your husband feels loved. I think it's also important for the husband to do the same about the wives, but how they feel loved and how they feel encouraged. So, I mean, this is kind of a popular thing, but the 5 love languages, I take that, it really worked for me. John loves physical touch, and that doesn't always mean sex. That does mean that, but he just loves a simple hug or a back rub or just a touch on the arm.
You're talking crazy now.
I mean, you do like sex, but that's not all that means. You feel loved when I massage your back or I hold your hand, where I am constantly being touched by kids and the dogs and my husband, and sometimes I just don't want to be touched because that's not how I feel loved.
I gotta change my tip for wives.
Oh, gosh. And then how they feel encouraged. Sometimes it feels cheesy, but I like to tell him that I'm proud of him or, that I thank you for working so hard, things like that. So that's my tip for that.
So then I'll give mine for the husbands. Then we can do the opposite.
Give a new one for the wives.
Yeah. All right. So my biggest, we're coming up on 10 years in a couple months, is to swallow your pride as a husband and just be quick to say you're sorry, because at the end of the day, you're still married to this person and you want your life to be good. And even when they are the ones that are wrong most of the time, right? But really, just swallow your pride and then say sorry. And I know it's weird. The first few times you do it, it's like almost physically painful to be like, no, I'm not doing it. And you almost feel it's weird. And if you've done it before, but it's weird. Like, no, I'm not, she's wrong. I'm not doing that. And so that's my biggest thing. And I feel like I'm getting better at it. I'm not professional at it. And I don't like just haphazardly like, okay, sorry, and walk away. Like sometimes it might take a couple hours or a few hours, but it never goes days. Like it'll never, maybe it's like we argue at the end of the night and then the next morning is when I say sorry. But that's all it is. Just to swallow your pride a little bit as the husband and know that you want to make your wife happy. And sometimes she just needs emotional support, and saying sorry can go long ways, which also leads back to you getting physically touched.
Yeah, you say sorry, you might get touched.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, my tip for husbands.
What do you want us to do?
I do feel like you're good at this, so I have to say that. Is to listen and to not always try to fix things. I feel like men are quick to try to fix it instead of just listening. Sometimes we just need to vent and we just need you to hear us and just say, I'm sorry, like you're really good at. And also, whether you're a working mom, stay-at-home mom, whether you're not a mom at all, you play, housework, got a lot going on. If men could just say more often, how can I help? And this is something we're teaching the boys. I'm teaching the boys. We're working together to teach the boys, is to just say, how can I help? Whether that be if your wife is upset or if she's feeling overwhelmed, just how can I help?
Mine, for the wives, I have two. One, always keep snacks available, because when I'm hangry.
Yes, that's a good one. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, chips. Give me some. Two,
anything.
Just let it go. Let it go. We know we mess up. We know we messed up. Wives, just let it go. We don't need to be reminded 25,000 times. And we don't need to be reminded 6 months from now. And we don't need to be reminded 3 months from now. If we step up and say sorry and swallow our pride, just accept it and then just let it go and move forward and work on it. And you might make the same mistake again, but at least don't bring it up 25,000 times. I'm not saying you do. Maybe like
sometimes I do,
maybe like 10 times. It's like, just let it go. I said I'm sorry.
That's also how men and women are wired differently. Like women, everything's intertwined. I take a shower and I'm making a grocery list and I'm planning out the next things, and you take a shower and you're just probably not thinking about anything, or I don't know. But men can like compartmentalize things and women don't. So just be aware of that and try to let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah.
Just Elsa it.
Just Elsa it.
Well, thank you for letting me come on your channel. We'll have to see if I get voted back on or not.
Yeah. So
I might just stick to the lives.
If you want to see more of John, thumbs up.
Because we've got things we could talk about. We've got the flip. We used to flip a lot of things. Like, how did we make more money? And it's not how you think. It wasn't jobs. It was like sweat and tears and a lot of hard work. I mean, stuff like, and I'll tell you exactly how we did it. Garage sales, sports tickets, cars, Instagram, like all these different things and how we did it. And so we did a lot of it together, and then she did a little bit of her own thing, and I did mine, but we always supported each other and worked on the same things together. So I'll be happy to come talk about those things, show you how you can make money doing it. So
yeah, if there's more topics you guys want to see us cover or you want to see on this channel, be sure to leave it in the comments. And if you have any good marriage tips, you can put those in the comments too. We will be reading and responding to all of them.
Oh yeah, let me hear yours.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye guys.
Thank you.